Skin Perfecting Micro Powder. Hey guys, welcome back. So I have got my 2022 yearly favorites videos for y'all. I'm so excited. I have gathered together my loves for the year. I've tried to go through my monthly favorites list and also just kind of look through my collection and gather things together. I'm always afraid I'm going to forget something because inevitably I always do. So if I forget something in any of these videos, I will give myself grace and just list them in the description box. So definitely check there because I may have more things listed in there. So today is going to be face. So like foundation, powders, concealers, bronzers, blushes, highlighters, those sort of things. Then I will do eyes and lips. Then I will do like hair care, skin care, body care, stuff like that. And then I'm going to do a whole video on books because I feel like books were such a joy for this year to me. Like I just enjoyed reading so much. So I want to do a whole video on my favorite books of 2022. So yeah, we're doing face today. So if you are new here, my name is Leslie. Welcome. I almost forgot this part. Welcome. I love to do favorites videos, new at the drugstore, reviews, get ready with me's, empties, just a lot of fun stuff here on my channel. So if you're new, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button and stuck around for a while. I'd love to have you here on my channel. So yeah, we were chatting about face 2022 yearly favorites. So let's get to them. So starting with foundation favorites, this is no surprise. The IT Cosmetics CC Cream SPF 50. I have used this for years and years and years and years, and it has made it into my favorites every year, I think, since I discovered it years ago. This is just beautiful. I love how it applies. I love the look on the skin. I feel like I compare everything to this, just sort of how it applies to my skin. I love it. My sister loves it. My mom loves it. It is just amazing. I wear it in fair. That's really my closest match. Sometimes I wear light. Occasionally I wear medium if I have used Sunless Tanner, but fair is the one that I wear the most. And then the Skin Foundation. Just discovered this later in the year. My mom found this on HSN, and they kind of remind me of IT Cosmetics, where they're really kind of thinking about ingredients first and then the coverage next, but the coverage of this is really good. This is more of a satin matte foundation. It has a doe foot applicator. The coverage on it is really full coverage. So if you try this, this is the biggest thing with this, use the tiniest amount. Like even if you think you're using very little, use even less than that because you can always add more. Because when I was using too much, I didn't like it. It was too full coverage. It looked cakey. So just use very, very little, and then if you do, it's beautiful. Really pretty finish on the skin, super long wearing, very, very long wearing. I like these together. I do that a lot. I mix the CC cream with matte foundations. It's pretty by itself, but probably will wear this more. I discovered this later in the year, so I was using it mostly mixed with the CC cream, but I think in the summertime, in 2023, I'll start wearing it by itself. Okay, and then also the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage. Man, this is a beautiful foundation. It says lasts up to 24 hours, mattifying, water and sweat proof, second skin effect. This is what I have on right now. This applies beautifully. It looks gorgeous on the skin, really nice coverage. I feel like it is forgiving and just kind of smoothing looking. It says mattifying, but I don't feel like it's drying. It's just that kind of like nice, good version of a matte foundation. I have it in 20 Rose Beige. I think this color matches me really well. I like that it kind of has a beigey, cool tone to it. It's a great foundation. It is a dropper applicator, which is, you know, fine. That's not like my favorite, but I don't hate it. And I think it kind of works with this formula well. This is a great foundation. Next up, concealer. I have kind of a couple of honorable mentions. So first honorable mention, the Doll 10 Hydrogel Concealer in mostly fair, but then I also sometimes wore it in light, but I think fair was the one that I wore more. Kind of honorable mention to this one because when I was wearing this, I wore it a lot. And this is a really nice formula of concealer. Like it's very forgiving and smoothing feeling. I would say kind of light to medium coverage on it, but I just really like the formula of it and how it's kind of lighter. It's very smoothing. It doesn't feel thick and heavy. So For what it is, I really like it, and I did use it pretty consistently when, you know, when it was one of my favorites throughout the year. And then also the NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum. This one has a pump kind of an applicator to it, and I would say this is nice and smoothing too, but this has a thicker texture for sure than the other one. Get a little bit more so you can kind of see it. Kind of a thicker formula to it, but really good coverage on this one. So I still think it has that smoothing effect, but a lot more coverage on it. I feel like this one's kind of, people either seem to love it or hate it. I'm in the love it. I really like this concealer. I think it's a good one. I did still love MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, but I found myself not really reaching for that one as much in 2022. And I don't really know why, but I still love that concealer, but I wouldn't say it's a 2022 favorite because I just wasn't reaching for it as much. I don't know why. The CoverGirl True Blend Undercover, great coverage on this concealer. It has a thicker texture to it, big old doe foot applicator on it. I love this particular shade in Classic Beige because it's more on the pinky cool tone side, and I feel like that's kind of hard to find in concealers. And yellowy tone concealers just really don't work for me, so I'm always searching for pinky, beigey toned concealers, and this one definitely has that sort of tone to it. Great coverage to it, definitely a thicker formula, but if you're looking for a more full coverage, it is great. I would say my top two are these, and they've been in my favorites for a long time. The Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer, the one that I use the most is the Brightener shade, which it's very pinky toned, you can see. So it's technically a color corrector. It does a great job of that, and then I will layer it with something else. I'm trying to think. I rarely wear it by itself. I pretty much always pair it with something else because it has that pinky tone to it. The Maybelline Fit Me, oh my goodness, this is such a great concealer. This is perfect for throwing in your purse. I just love the texture of this. It's so affordable, and then it has this awesome formula to it. It is really nice and smoothing under the eyes, but then it has that nice medium coverage that works well on the rest of the face too, but it's just very forgiving under the eyes. Sometimes I feel it's kind of hard to find a concealer that works well for both, and this one I think really does. It doesn't have the most full coverage, but it does still work on the rest of the face, and it's so pretty and forgiving under the eyes. Then powders, the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. I have it in Cupcake. This is so good. It is really, really beautiful under the eyes. It's so pretty on the rest of the face, but I especially love it for under the eyes. Cupcake has this nice kind of, ooh, there you see it kind of poofing. It's a very like lighter sort of a textured powder. So it's nice and smoothing and forgiving. And Cupcake has this kind of nice pinky tone to it. So that is like my go-to. I love a pinky tone powder, especially for under the eyes. That pinky tone just really works for me for color correcting and brightening because it's not that yellowy tone that does not work for my skin tone. So love the color of this, love the texture. It's so forgiving and beautiful. It is great. Of course, I have to mention Laura Geller Baked Balance and Brighten. I wear it in Fair. I think I can use Porcelain too, and I'm pretty sure I have one of those somewhere. This is such an amazing powder. I love this for the rest of the face. I like it for under the eyes, but I primarily use it for all over my face. It is so smoothing and forgiving and color correcting, and it just makes everything go together. So if I have like either a foundation that didn't work, or my blush gets a little bit out of control, or I just, want to set my face or whatever, this just like smooths the pores, hides any maybe blending issue or something. It's just so forgiving. That is the main word that I would use to describe this powder. Just so forgiving and smoothing and beautiful on the skin. It's amazing. Then what do we have next? Okay, let's talk about, I have loved this for years. The Ben Nye Luxury Powders. If you've never tried these, they're amazing. They have a really great texture to them. They're very similar to the Huda Beauty powder. Just really nice and smoothing and forgiving. That's the main kind of characteristics I would say about it. I have it in Cameo. This is just kind of like a neutral, lighter tone. But then I use this one the most in Rose Petal. This is more of a pink, you can see it. It's very pinky toned. So I especially love this for under my eyes. If I had to pick a favorite powder that just stands out above everything, I would pick this. That's how much I love it. And I've loved it for years. The texture of it is just So incredible and amazing. Love, love, love it. I keep the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Skin Perfecting Micro Powder in my purse. This is nice and forgiving and smoothing. It is great for setting, but then also for touch-ups. I don't find that it gets cakey and weird, so this is the one that I just kind of keep in my purse. It's a great, great powder. Then the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores powder. This is great for touch-ups. I love this for touch-ups. I have one in my bathroom for touch-ups before we walk out the door. I have one in here when I'm filming, just to take away shine. So it takes away the shine without disturbing your makeup. It just kind of smooths everything again. It doesn't really have any color to it, so it's not like it gives you coverage. It's just more for taking away the shine and kind of smoothing out the skin. So I won't use this kind of as my initial setting powder usually, but I love it for touch-ups. Now bronzers. The Physicians Formula Butter Bronzers, I've loved these for years. I love multiple different colors in them, but I'd say the ones that I wear the most, light bronzer and bronzer. These have a great texture to them. They're very blendable, easy to apply. They look beautiful on the skin. I feel like they have a nice forgiving, flattering formula to them, and they're just some of the greatest bronzers. I mean, it's just a really, really good one. The Laura Geller Baked Bronze and Brighten in Fair. This is so pretty. Again, it's a Laura Geller baked product, so it's very forgiving and beautiful on the skin. This one has kind of more of a blushy, cool toned, almost pinky tone to it. So I love this for a blush and bronzer, kind of, you know, two-in-one sort of product. I really like a pinky, blushy toned bronzer. I feel like it just looks natural on me. It blends well with my blush, so I love it when a bronzer is kind of more on the pinky, blushy, almost reddish kind of side. Same thing with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Bronzer in Tawny. This is the same kind of situation, that it's more on the, you can even look at it in the pan. It's almost kind of reddish toned, like pinky red. I feel like the swatch doesn't really, I mean, it kind of shows that, but in the pan, I think you can really see it. This has a great texture to it, applies very nicely, looks so pretty on the skin. I love this LA Girl Matte Bronzer. This is in Back to the Beach. This is a great bronzer, really nice, affordable bronzer. It applies well, it looks really pretty on the skin. This is what I have on right now, very, very little though. But yeah, it's nice and blendable. And LA Girl just makes some great makeup. I really like their makeup. And then the L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzers. I have two different shades in it. I have Fair, and then I have Light Medium. I first got Fair. This is really very, very fair. So I don't have to be light-handed with that, which is nice. So if I want a very natural looking bronzer on me, I will use Fair. And then Light Medium, I was hoping this would be a little bit more on the cool tone side, but it's really kind of the same sort of tone as this one. I would say they're just more kind of neutral toned, not super cool tone, but they're not really on the yellowy side. Let me see if I forgot anything. Ooh, gotta mention the Subtle Beauty stack. Really, this is a favorite for multiple products for, I would say bronzer, blush, and eyes, but especially bronzer and blush. Number one bronzer. So the bronzers that I have, first one is, let me get this open, Latte. This has such a great concept. You can build your own little stack and you can take it apart and, you know, put things together. So it's great for travel, throwing in your bag. It's so versatile. I just love the whole concept of it. And I like the formulas. Latte is the first one. Love this on my cheeks, but then I really love it on my eyes as well. So I've taken this on vacation and it is perfect for using it for the eyes. And then this one is Cocoa. I can't use this as a bronzer, but I love this on my eyes. It's great. So that's just kind of technically it's a bronzer, so I'm including it in my bronzers, but really like I use this one on my eyes. But I love this one on my cheeks and my eyes. And then yeah, honorable mention to their cheek products. So they have cream blushes that you can use on your cheeks and your lips. This one's so pretty. What is that one? It's the plum color. And then they also have powder blushes. Their powder blushes are very, very pigmented. So tip on these, definitely tap these on the back of your hand and then apply them to your cheeks, because that'll kind of help the blend, because they're just so pigmented. You want the tiniest little bit of product on your brush when you go to apply them. I don't really find that with the bronzer, but I definitely find it with their powder cheek products. Well, I mean, their bronzer is very pigmented too, but I find that I can blend that a little bit more easily than the cheek products if I have too much of either one. Anyway, they have great cheek products too. They are amazing. I just love the whole concept of this. Some liquid cream blushes that I was loving this year. The Flower Beauty Blush Balms. I would say my top favorite is Bubbly. I have this on my cheeks, but I have it layered with something else. These are really nice and blendable. Bubbly is this really kind of unique, very lavender toned kind of pink. It's very, very cool toned. It's like a purpley pink. Great formula. These are very blendable. They wear really well. They're affordable. They are great cream blushes. I love the Persona Blush Multi-Sticks. Love these so much. If I had to pick, I really like Kiss. This is a very pretty red. These work on your cheeks or on your lips. So this one's a beautiful red. So kind of honorable mention to that one. I do really like that one. But my two favorites are Bubbly and Jam. Bubbly and Jam. So I love, love, love Bubbly for being this amazing bubblegum pink. It's incredible, y'all. It is so pretty. It just is this like classic bubblegum pink. It's so great. These are blendable. They really work well, and they have a good formula that still works on the lips. When they first came out with the few colors there, I think it was like 3 colors initially, I really preferred them on the cheeks. But then when Jam came out, I actually prefer this. Well, I like it both, but I love it on the lips. Usually these kind of multi-products, I really prefer them just on the cheeks. But Jam specifically, I love this one on the cheeks and the lips. It's this beautiful berry shade. But yeah, these just are blendable and beautiful, and they wear well. They're pretty by themselves. They're pretty for layering. They are a great cream blush. This was one of my kind of go-tos for a very neutral makeup look. The Girls Getaway Trio from The Balm. So it has Balm Springs, Balm Beach, and Balm Desert. Just great neutral blush palette, and kind of that blush bronzer in one sort of look. Like this one's more on the bronzer side, and then these kind of get that blushy sort of tone. I love these. They are just really nice and blendable, very pigmented. The Balm blushes wear so well. Something about them, they are just very long wearing. Really a great formula. I feel like they're kind of underrated, and they are some of my favorite blushes for just how they look on the cheeks, but then how they wear. They're so good. And of course, I still love CoverGirl Cheekers blushes. These are so inexpensive and just great. I'm not going to swatch them for you because they look horrible in swatches, but they're amazing on the cheeks. I don't know why that is. This is Flushed. It's kind of more of a beautiful bright peach. This one is Pink Candy. Such a fun bright pink color. Oh, it's so cute. I wear this one a lot too. Brick Rose. It looks like it would kind of be too deep for me, but it's a very nice neutral color. And what's great about these is they're very kind of buildable. They're just more of that versatile blush where if you're kind of afraid of blush, if you just apply a little bit, you're going to get just a little sheer wash of color, but then they build on themselves really nicely. I find that they wear well, and again, they're just so affordable. Of course, I have to mention Laura Geller blushes. I love them so much. They are so forgiving and flattering and gorgeous on the cheeks. I could mention so many different colors. This is Apricot Berry. It's a gorgeous kind of warm, glowy apricot berry kind of color. Peach Berry is more on the peachy side. I mean, you can just see kind of all the colors happening in there. Some of them have a little bit more glow than others, but pretty much all of them have at least a little bit of glow. This one is Honeysuckle. This is great for summertime. It has that kind of summery glow, kind of almost like a bronzery sort of tone to it. This one is Sunswept. Again, same sort of idea. I mean, look at all that just swirled together. Oh, so pretty and forgiving and flattering on the cheeks. This is what I have over the top of that Flower Beauty cream blush. This is the Physicians Formula Strawberry Jam. So it first came with this adorable little strawberry design. First time you use it, that overspray goes away, which is a little bit disappointing. But the blush itself, I love. So I mean, I'm not that mad about it. It's the cutest, sweet pink. It is so just bright and beautiful on the cheeks. I like the formula of it. It smells good. It smells like strawberry. But just the color is so cute. I love it. If I had to pick one standout favorite blush for the year, it would be the Almay Healthy Hue blushes, particularly in Nearly Nude. This was my go-to. It is my go-to for a blush bronzer, one step and done sort of product. I would say this one and then the Balm Trio. If I was just trying to do like quick with my cheeks or just very neutral to go with a makeup look, I would use one of those too. But this one has just the most beautiful, glowy look. It is gorgeous on the skin. I have the other colors too. I love them also, but this one is the one that I reach for the most. It almost has the look of the Laura Geller blushes and just how flattering and forgiving and beautiful it is on the skin. If you haven't tried these, try these blushes. They're amazing. Last up, highlighter. I would say I was not as like into highlighters this year. Kind of looking through, thinking through. I wasn't wearing a lot of like really metallic highlighters or anything like that. I was kind of going just lighter or not wearing highlighter as much, or I don't know. It just didn't seem like highlighter was a big standout for me this year. But two favorites that I did really, really love this year. One is the Ofra liquid highlighters. These are really pretty. I would say the one that works for me the best is Monroe. These have a really nice formula to them. They have a pump sort of applicator to them. They're so pretty and versatile because you can apply them like with foundation. You can mix them. You could use them kind of as like a primer step. I use them as a true highlighter. I just apply them to my cheekbones. But they're really pretty and not over the top. They're just kind of a little bit more of a soft, subtle, beautiful glow. Same sort of idea with these. You can definitely build them up more. I would say these, you can build them up a little bit more. These are the Flower Beauty Spotlight Liquid Highlighters. The one that works the best for me is Opal. I have a little bit of this, but I have it layered with Gleam because I forgot. I will say the packaging kind of tends to get a little bit like clogged over time. So that's just something to know about them, like this little applicator. When you go to kind of like press more out of it, it seems to kind of almost like dry and then kind of get a little bit clogged. But this is so pretty on the skin. These are just that gorgeous kind of metallic glow, but not super over the top. You know what I mean? They're just really pretty. All right, you guys, so that wraps up part one of my 2022 favorites. So I hope that you really enjoyed this video. Please hit a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below what your favorite 2022 favorites would be in the face category, or if you want to tell me about any of them, I'm happy to hear your favorites, whatever they are. But especially like foundation, concealer, powder, all the kind of things that we talked about in this video, I would love to hear your favorites. Let me know that down below. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!